Emma travels a solitary route through a desolate area, the only sound of her vehicle's engine providing a spooky accompaniment. The path ahead was engulfed in darkness, with just the dim glow from her headlights illuminating it. Emma caught a glimpse of a lone figure standing by the side of the road. The thumb was up, a subtle request for assistance. Her fingers lingered over the steering wheel for a little while as she considered stopping. Emma suddenly decided what to do. After some hesitation, she stopped. The vagrant neared at a sluggish pace, his features obscured by a worn black cowl. He said nothing as he climbed in. As the stranger took a seat, the inside of the automobile felt instantly cooler. The silence was broken by his low, raspy voice, which gave Emma a hazy route to his objective. The silence between them grew thicker and longer, as if time had stood still. Emma occasionally looked at her passenger, but he was motionless, his unblinking eyes staring straight ahead. The radio flashed to life, and then, suddenly static filled the car. "Don't trust him, Emma," a muttered voice said over the distortion. "He isn't who he seems to be." Emma turned to face the hitchhiker, and felt a chill run down her spine to see that he was smiling. His teeth were almost visible in the dashboard's faint glow, and his smile was icy. The car's interior temperature crashed. Emma's breath became visible as frost started to accumulate on the glass. However, it was the height of summer, not winter. Suddenly, an alteration transpired. Emma turned to speak with the man, but he vanished. The car door had never opened, but the passenger seat was empty. Emma lost control of the car due to her shock. The vehicle abruptly veered, skidded off the road, and crashed into a tree near the edge of the thick woodland. Emma awoke outside, resting in the cool forest underbrush, dazed and confused. There was no sign of her car, and the silence of the night was unsettling. The hitchhiker reappeared out of the shadows, gazing at her with bright eyes that shone through the gloom. He appeared more ghostly this time, as if he were constantly vanishing from view. Emma shot up and took off, the quiet crunch of leaves behind her indicating that the man was after her. His steps were abnormally quick, gaining on her with alarming rapidity. A flickering light appeared in the distance as she dashed through the jungle. She made a frantic run toward a little, old-looking cottage that emerged from the mist, her heart thumping in her chest. She ran through the door and locked it behind her. The house was dusty, ancient, and had an uncomfortable air of desertion. Everything became silent after a tense time. The constant beating on the door ceased. With caution she opened it, but the woodland was still. The hitchhiker had disappeared into thin air. Through the trees, a warm light shimmered as Emma came outside. A stranger who exuded a gentle radiance materialized and silently led her away from the dangers of the wilderness. She looked back just before she got to the safety of the road. The hitchhiker was standing there on the edge of the woodland, his form disappearing once again into the shadows. His voice was a warning, a reminder of what was out there at night, resonating in the wind. Emma eventually made it out of the forest and onto the highway, where she was assisted by a passing vehicle. Stepping into the light, she knew that something bigger had stepped in to save her from the horror she had experienced. As the camera moves away, the enormous, gloomy forest is once again visible. A last cool wind blows through the trees, whispering secrets into the night.